When we acknowledge that religious education sits at the heart of all learning in Catholic education, what does this mean? What does this look like in your school? How does it come to life in school policy and process? How is it reflected in attitude and action? How are teachers of religious education leaders and influencers of learning and teaching across the curriculum? As children and young people grow, they seek meaning and purpose in their lives and the world around them. Children begin this journey with their families, and the parish seeks to encourage and accompany these efforts. For those learners who attend Catholic schools, they have the opportunities to engage in formative and educative experiences that support them to develop and grow in religious self-understanding and spirituality.
Within this context, learners are encouraged to develop knowledge, understanding, skills, and positive dispositions about Christianity in the Catholic tradition, in dialogue with their own religious background and other religious worldviews. Learners can become informed and active contributors to a faith community, to their local areas, to Australia and the world. We encourage them to be thinkers, questioners and explorers, listeners and active participants, interpreters, connectors, and able to discern and apply insights. We set a standard for engagement with the world of other learning areas. When religious education brings faith into dialogue with life, it has the capacity to be a source of wisdom, a stimulus to lifelong learning, a means to personal transformation, and a call to missionary discipleship.
Good religious education should reflect the same principles and the same expectations that exist across other areas of the curriculum. How do you see that happening in religious education?
It should be such a high priority in our planning and timetabling that teachers and students know that it's valued and parents know that it's valued. It's not just something that we add on.
All learning areas are expected to have rigorous scaffolded assessment that allows educators to make decisions about whether learning outcomes have been achieved. What about assessment and religious education?
Establishing, as in any other subject, learning intentions and success criteria in religion is really important.
There is a side of religious education that can't be assessed. How do we assess encounter? How do we assess meeting kids where they're at in their search for God, in their search for truth, in their search for love? These things are from the heart.
I agree with you, Anthony. It's very hard to assess some of that, isn't it, to the heart and the what the child has actually taken on.
And we mentioned that in talking about as a subject or a religion, it being our heart. And we excel when we see students graduate who are good people.
And we need to be clear about what we're doing in assessment then. Can we talk about teaching and learning and the quality of teaching and learning in religious education? It needs to be as strong as effective as other areas of the curriculum.
When we have leaders in Catholic schools that realise that too, and then particularly in the high school, might timetable religion or studies of religion, studies in Catholic thought, all on at the same time, that then enables team teaching. And when we do that, we also bring different styles of teaching. When we bring different teaching styles, we've got a greater chance of tapping into individual learning styles of each student.
We're called to employ 21st century pedagogy. There's freedom there to use collaboration, to exercise critical thinking skills, to create problem-based learning.
Do you want to talk to us about how the leadership of religious education is most effective in a Catholic school?
Most effective when it's authentic, often nourished by the leadership, when it is authentically connected to other aspects of school life, where it's authentically designed and delivered.
Elizabeth, you're also a leader in a primary school. What is it about your leadership that brings life and importance to religious education?
Well, I hope that it's me, the person, that students perceive me as an authentic person, that I have, I bring a sense of hope, love to the school community, so that therefore that 2,000-year-old message can be seen through me. Sometimes for children too, if they're going to Mass with their families and they think not many of the other children in the class go to Mass, and then they see you there, and they see that you value it, and it's important to you, and you know that they value it and their family value it. I think they do feel that little special connection.
Leaders need to provide good professional learning and professional development for teachers.
Teachers are encouraged to engage in staff professional development, faith formation days, retreats that are provided by systems, that are provided by charisms and their orders as well. Different opportunities to experience retreat, pilgrimage. At the end of the day, I think leaders recognise that you can't give what you don't have.
And we need to come back to, well, the personal gain is the teacher feels it has grown. They bring that to the classroom.
Andrew, as a teacher yourself, what's been the most effective professional development that's supported you?
Prayer, meditation, incorporating those different ways into the classroom and having practical ideas.
When we zoom out, we often see so many problems and so many obstacles to authentic religious education. When we zoom in, we actually start to see, and when we zoom into an individual classroom or to an individual student, and we're there to seek and create Christ-centered relationships, we actually see how worthwhile it is to meet kids where they're at, to create meaning and purpose, to animate that truth, to create encounter.